What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in a building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I put together a very special build for y'all, in which I'm going to be calling the two-way spot up lockdown, and this build's actually going to come out to a two-way spot up threat. Now, out of all NBA players, this one today is going to be reminding me of young Tressay PG-13 Paul George. Now, as far as when it comes to our attributes, we'll get a 99 plus put towards our mid-range, free throw, perimeter defense, steal, and stamina. Now we're also going to be able to get the upgraded dunk packages, upgraded layup packages with a total of 54 badges. Now this build defensively and offensively is going to be able to play like Paul George. Now you also get posterizer, so contact dunks are definitely possible. Hall of Fame interceptor on this build, which in my opinion, you're going to be a 6'7" free safety out there, snagging everything. Now I did go with the minimum threshold, now allowing you to get stumble dribble moves. Now as far as for the physicals, balance is a must on today's build. So before we get any further, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for thank God King Jesus Yahweh and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with a response. So the first thing that you want to do is put this build under the small forward position. We're going to go with the height of 6'7". Now as for that weight, put this up to 233 pounds. And then for that wingspan, I think today this is going to be best maxed out at 7'4". Now this is what we should be looking like moving forward. And the first area that I do want to get into is going to be the physicals. So as for that speed, put this all the way up to an 83. Getting into the acceleration, I'm going to go with a 77. 90 when it comes down to our strength. Moving into the stamina, go with a 99 here, with the vertical being brought up all the way to a 70. Now remember, if you get 4 stars on your Gatorade facility workouts, you get a +4 put towards our physicals. So these are going to read a 99 stamina, 74 vertical, 94 strength, 81 acceleration with an 87 speed. Just something to take into account moving forward. So now, let's go ahead and get started with the defense. So as for that interior, put this all the way up to a 61. For that perimeter, I'm going to put this all the way up to a 94. And then for that steal, make sure you're going with a 96. Now for the rest of this build on the defensive rebound, go with a 60. And then for the badges, as you can see, we're going to get ones like Bronze Box Out Beast. You also get Rebound Chaser, which is more than you need. Now also when it comes to our actual steal, we get Hall of Fame Interceptor and Right Stick Ripper. Now from there you also do get Gold Glove, which I think is going to be more than enough for this type of defensive build. As far as for the actual perimeter defense, we get Gold Clamps, Fast Feet, Pick Dodger, then you get Hall of Fame Off-Ball Pass, Workhorse, Challenger, Ankle Braces, and the most overpowered defensive badge, 94 feet. I'm telling y'all, this one is going to take your defense to the next level, especially considering what we can do with the offense on today's build. You're really in store for one of the best. Now as far as for that interior, we still get Workhorse. Now from here, we are all set to move forward into the shooting. So for that mid-range shot, what you want to do is put this up to an 86. Getting into the three-pointer, I'm going to go up to a 79. And then for that free throw, make sure you go up to a 90. Now that is going to allow us to get gold free points. As for the three-pointer, we get badges like Silver Blinders, Gold Catch and Shoot, but then we get Deadeye, Corner Specialist, Green Machine, Space Creator, Spot Finder, and Claymore. Now we also do get Whistle, Gold Open Looks, Guard Up, Hall of Fame Comeback Kid with Bronze Agent 3. Now this very well may be the best badge when it comes towards our shooting. And then when it comes to our mid-range, you're going to get other badges here like Gold Mini Magician. You also get Open Looks and Guard Up. One of the best builds to use all around, especially when it comes to the defense. Now from here, we have 2 final areas that we need to get into. So I'm going to get started with that finishing. Make sure you go ahead and put that driving layup all the way up to a 65. Moving into the driving dunk, I'm going to go with a 77. And then for that standing dunk, I'm going to go with a 73. Now as you can see, this is what we're going to be looking like with this side of the ball. You get bronze precision dunker, fast twitch with rise up, then silver aerial wizard. Now you also do get bronze posterizer, slithery, precision dunker again, but then we get silver aerial wizard, bunny, whistle, and 2-step with gold spin cycle. Now for the driving layup, we get a lot of badges for this low of a rating, which I think personally is more than enough, especially once you know what you are doing and test out this build. Now we have one final area to wrap everything up, and that's going to be the playmaking. Now more specifically, it's going to go ahead and be put all the way up into our pass accuracy. So go with a 75, minimum threshold of a 40 for the ball handle, and if you want to be faster, make sure you go with a speed of ball of a 39. Now look, if you have a few remaining leftover attributes, feel free to put these into any area of your choosing, and I wanted to save the best for last. So go ahead and max out your block all the way up to an 81. You'll have a few remaining leftover attributes, but this really takes this build up to the next level. You get bronze anchor with chase down artist and pogo stick. Really overall, I think it's one of the best builds to take into any game mode. Now starting from the top down, you have everything needed for being able to possibly get contact dunks, especially once you do activate your takeover. Now this is actually what the build should be looking like once we get it to 99 overall. Now you can do everything from possibly get contact dunks on the interior, but more so especially once you activate your takeover. Then also when it comes to that shooting, we're a threat from anywhere at any time, especially with this 3-point rating. This is going to be more than enough to be effective from deep. Now for that playmaking, 40 ball handle is more than enough, so that way when you do any type of dribble move, you're not going to be getting those stumbling animations, so that's why I had to go ahead and put this up to a 40. As for the speed with ball, this is completely optional. And then for that defensive end, I'm telling y'all, you're going to be able to guard up just about any position, especially if you know what you are doing with this high strength. Now remember, if you take into account bind boost, activating your takeover, wearing gear, and even also playing well throughout each game, that's at least a plus 10 to 15 towards our builds. Just something to take into account before we move forward. Now let's make sure that everybody made this build correctly. We should be able to get these 3 different comparisons, and as y'all can see, we have created the 2-way spot up lockdown, also known as the 2-way spot up threat. Now I love the comparisons of OG ANUNOBY, Gerald Wallace, and PG-13. Now look, if you add up everything of what I previously mentioned, you'll be able to see the true and full potential of today's build and what we can actually do. So without further ado, if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, smash that like button, turn on post notifications to be a part of the rich family, and last but definitely not least, comment down TG for Thank God King Jesus and where you're tuning in from, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with the response. And with all that being said though, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.